Okay, guys, we are recording. All right. Now, this is the same thing that we've been doing, except we're adding these two steps. Okay. So, distribute really quickly. What does distribute mean? Okay. Okay. So if I had this and I said you have to distribute first, what do you think you would do? What does it mean when this 15 is right next to what's in parentheses? Multiply. But I multiply it, I distribute it to both numbers. Okay? So with your calculator, what is 15 times 20? 300. 300. So I would do 300 plus, well, what's 15 times x? 15x. 15x. Okay, so that's a normal two-step equation from there. So can I solve? Yep. Yeah. All right, so what do I do? What do I do first? Draw a line. Okay. I distributed. Do I have like terms to combine? Minus 15 on both sides. No. No, plus 200 on both sides. No. Okay, we subtract 300 because we're doing the opposite. And I'm left with 15x equals 120. Now what? What does it mean when 15 and x are by each other? Okay, that's multiplying, so I do the opposite and I divide by 15. So put that in your calculator. What do you get when you divide 120 by 15? 8. Okay, so try number 2 by yourself real quick. Exact same way. So here, turn around. When I tell you to do something on your own, that doesn't mean look around. It means do the work. Guys, you have a calculator. Use it. Let it be your friend. Give me a thumbs up if you're done. One person? I don't think. Three times x. 8 minus 3x, not plus x. I got negative 20.
So what would I do?
Divide that by 3. Negative 3.
Did it?
No.
It's not 5.5.
Can I do that?
No.
It's not.
Honey, you did that right, that part right there. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You don't use 27 again. You bring this down. So you just bring this down, so it's negative 3x equals 60. But you got to that part, right? But then you use that.
So you do that divided by that?
60 divided by negative 3. Okay. All right. So we distribute the negative 3 to the 9. What is negative 3 times 9? Negative 27. Plus, what is negative 3 times x? negative 3x, which is the same thing as negative 27 minus 3x, right? Okay, what do I get rid of first? Okay, so since it's subtracting, that's a negative. Negative and subtraction, same thing, right? So I do the opposite. So I add 27, add 27. That gives me 60. So then I have this left over. So I have negative 3x equals 60. What do I do with that negative 3? Divide. What is 60 divided by negative 3? Negative 20. If you wanted to be extra careful, what could you do? What do you mean, Audrina? Okay, so if I put negative 3, I open my parentheses and put 9, so it's negative 20. You could do plus a negative 20 or minus 20. Did it give me 33? Yes. Because I had to distribute my negative 3 to the x, so I had to multiply it. 3 times x. What that's saying, so if like it says 15 and then 20 times x, that means I would have what's in parentheses 15 times. So if I wrote that down 15 times, would I have 15 x's? Okay, that's all this is saying is I have this many of what's in parentheses. Okay, so this one, 1/2 times a would give me what? 1/2 a. Okay, if I don't know off the top of my head what 1/2 times negative 7 is, okay, times negative 7, negative 3.5. All right, so I would do minus 3.5. Okay, what would my first step be?
How come you wouldn't change that to a positive? Since like that one over there you changed to a negative. And it's a negative
I just
and a minus.
rewrote it because this was a plus. So like originally I had plus a negative 3x. But when I add a negative, it's the same thing as subtracting.
Yeah. Okay.
Here, it already gave me the symbol. Okay, so I plus the 3.5. Now, here's where you got to be careful. I had a decimal. Was this a decimal? No. So if I lined it up wrong, would it give me a very wrong answer? Yes. So in your calculator, 25 plus 3.5 is 28.5. Okay, so I bring this down. 1/2 a is equal to 28.5. Now, somebody asked me last class period, could I use 0.5 instead of a fraction? Well, is 0.5 equivalent to 1/2? Yes. So could you? Yes. Do you have to? Why do you not have to? Because is your calculator going to do the work for you? Yeah. So if I'm multiplying by 1/2, how do I get rid of it? Divide. Okay, so I can plug that into my calculator. I can do 28.5 divided by, what do I have to do when I divide by a fraction? Parentheses. If I don't do parentheses, it is not going to give you the correct answer. And that gives me 57. Could I plug that in? I could do 1/2, or in this case, I'll just do 0.5, open my parentheses, 57 minus 7. Did it give me 25? Yes.
Sydney.
All right.
Mm-mm.
So on this one, what's a little bit different than those three? I have to distribute on both sides. Okay. Does that mean it's harder? No, it just means it's going to take a little bit longer. Doesn't mean it's harder. Okay. 8 times 3a would be what? What's 8 times 3? 24a. Okay. 8 times 6. If I'm really bad with my math facts, what can I do? Put it in my calculator. 8 times 6 is 48. Okay. Then I distribute over here. Well, 9 times a is, and then 9 times a negative 4, so minus 36. Okay, now does this look like the types of questions that were on your test?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so all I had to do was distribute to make it look that way, right? Okay, so what should I start doing? Okay, Do I have like terms to combine on one side?
Yes, 24/8 and wait, on one side.
Yes, because your like terms is if you have more than one thing on one side, and I'll show you these you'll have it. Or this one you will. Okay, so I can start moving my letters to the left, right? And my numbers to the right. So my letters, I'm moving it this way. So I subtract 9a. So what's 24 minus 9? Okay, 15. So I have 15a. All right. Remember how we talked about, yeah, it was taught as doing it all in one step, but for y'all, it seemed to help y'all a little bit more to do it multi-step. Y'all, pay attention. All right, so then what do I get rid of? I move my numbers to the right. So I subtract 48. Subtract 48. That gives me what? Do negative 36 minus 48.
You're gonna do negative 84.
Negative 84. Okay, so what would I do with the 15 now? Divide by. Okay, so I'm doing negative 84 divided by 15. What do you get?
Negative 5.6.
Okay, I want you to try number 5 on your own real quick.
Is it negative 6.5? I got negative 9. I got negative 6.5.
Yeah, I got that too.
Negative 6.5. Really?
Yes.
No, we're not gonna do
Okay, 5.2 times k gives you 5.2k plus, what's 5.2 times 4?
9.4. Wait, what was it?
Or not plus, multiplying.
28.
Okay, so it's 20.8 equals negative 26. Okay, then what? Ariana, Kobe, y'all have got to stop talking. Pay attention. Okay, so I minus 20.8.
When you do the second step, you do add or divide. I mean, add or multiply.
Which one?
When you, like how you got 20.8.
I multiply. I said,
You're still distributing.
yeah, you're still distributing. Because this is 5.2 times k, 5.2 times 4. I think I might have said add on that set, but we multiplied every other time. Okay. 5.2k is equal to, what's negative 26 minus 20.8? All right, then I divide. If you plug that into your calculator, it gives you negative 9. Okay, so the next problem.
Do you do it backwards?
Okay. So what do you think I would do first on this one?
2 times 5.
Okay. So somebody asked earlier, do I add first? Well, think about PEMDAS. What do you have to do before you add? Parentheses and what else?
Exponent.
Okay.
Multiply.
Multiply. Is this multiplying?
Yes.
Yes. So I would have to do that before I add. Okay, so I have 5y minus 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 3 equals 6. Now, here is where number 3 up here where it says combine like terms. All right, can I combine 3 in my negative 10?
Yeah.
What I want y'all to get in the habit of with like terms is circling them, okay? Because that makes me see the actual numbers. Because somebody was like, well, am I doing 3 minus 10? Am I doing 3 plus 10? Okay, when it says combine them, when you combine something, you're putting them together, which would mean what? Add. But I have a negative, right? So if I did negative 10 plus 3, because I'm putting them together, I'm adding them, gives me negative 7. So if you have a negative, be careful. All right, so it gives me, that would give me negative 7 plus 5y. Okay, so now that's a normal two-step equation. What do I do first?
Oh, do we need to add the /7?
Add 7. Add 7. That gives me, what's 6 plus 7?
13.
13 equals 5y. Then what?
Divide by 5.
Divide by 5. Divide by 5. 13 divided by 5 is what?
2.6.
2.6. Not extremely terrible. Not the best, but not terrible, right? Yeah? Okay. We're going to have to move pretty quick. All right. So these two are the ones we really need to look at, okay? So it says most of the time you get an actual answer. Like on all of these, we got one answer for our variable, right? Okay. On the back, there's a weird thing that can happen. Can you look in the Monday drawer and see if the homework is in there? And maybe start putting it on your desk. Yeah. Okay. One of them might be 7th grade, one of them might be 8th, or no. Okay, they're all 8th grade. All right, so we're going to distribute on both sides. So 6 times x is, okay, and then 6 times 3, 18, plus 10, and then 2 times 3x is 6x, 2 times 4 is 8. What do I have to do over here first? Combine my like terms, right? Could I combine those terms? Negative 18 plus 10 would give me minus 8, okay? Now look at this. Are those exactly the same?
No. Yes.
Yes. So if I brought my numbers to the right and brought my letters to the left, okay, this would equal 0. This would equal 0. So is 0 equal to 0?
Yes.
So could I plug any number into x and make it right? Yeah. So right here, it says letters that cancel. Okay, so if you get something that cancels to 0, 0, that means all real numbers are a solution. That means I could plug in any number for x, any real number for x, and it would work on both sides. Okay? This one, 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times 5 is 10. All right? This is 10x minus 20, and then minus 4x. Do I have like terms to combine?
Yeah, 10 and 20.
10x minus 4x. Well, what is 10x minus 4x?
6x.
Okay. So I have 6x minus 20, all right, is equal to 6x plus 10. All right. So if I subtract 6x, That gives me 0. All right, and then I need to move my numbers to the right. Is 0 equal to negative 30?
No.
No. So this would be no solution. So what's it saying here? It's if my letters cancel out and I get 0, it's no solution. If they cancel out and I also get a 0, it is a real solution. Okay, so we're going to stop there. These are just a little bit tougher of examples.